Hello and welcome to episode number 200 and I believe 97 is the correct number of the TEW 288 Challenge Run. This is going to be SmackDown, October Week 2, 2022. It is the go-home show for Clash at the Castle in Cardiff tomorrow night. Obviously in headcanon this would be pre-taped because they're not getting from, I'm going to say the XL Centre to Cardiff in 24 hours. So, yeah, this obviously would be in headcanon a pre-taped episode of SmackDown, but that's not a thing you can really do in the game, so oh well. Actually, I could have set it up like that, but there's just no point, so. And yeah, we have tonight announced it's Braun Breaker and Keith Lee, the Limit Breakers, taking on Drew Gulak and Timothy Thatcher of that little trio, because Oney's got a Cruiserweight title match on Velocity after SmackDown. And also, Alba Fire and Candice LeRae are going to have to put their differences aside and team up against Shotzi Blackheart and Toni Storm ahead of their four-way for the title tomorrow. And to close out the night, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, no physicality, but the two will go face to face one last time before their big clash in Cardiff. Without any further ado, let's jump straight into the show. We open up with Bayley in the ring, ding dong, hello. And she's like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to, Friday Night SmackDown. And now you're probably wondering what all this is here in the ring. Well, ahead of me and Dakota Kai's huge tag team victory tomorrow night at Clash at the Castle in Cardiff, welcome to my show. Ding dong, hello, look, we got the door, we got the title pictures, you got all of this, And this is going to be my time for you to come on here and knock on my door and really get your frustrations out with your life right now, as I guess it's time for me to sit here and await our first guest. And the doorbell goes off and she's like, I wonder who that could be. She opens up and Dakota's there. She goes, no way, it's Dakota Kai. And Dakota comes on. She goes, well, thanks for having me on, Bayley. A great way to kick off this era, than me and you together on this show just 24 hours before we kick the head off the SmackDown Women's Champion, her little friend, at Clash at the Castle. How are you feeling heading into that match? And Bayley's like, I didn't realise this was an interview segment for me. I was supposed to be talking to you, but since you asked, Dakota, I'm feeling confident, because I've got the best women's wrestler here on SmackDown by my side. Former SmackDown Women's Champion who's got a bone to pick with both Utami and Kairi. And then you got me, of course, one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time. One of the fabled four horsewomen, I created this damn revolution. Without me, there is no Dakota, there is no Kairi, there is no Utami. And then Kairi and Utami come out on stage. And they just walk into the ring. I imagine they come to the ring, pick up microphones and just roll into the ring. Bayley goes, stop. What do you think you're doing? You're supposed to use the door. And then Kairi and Utami just sort of look at each other, shrug, then walk around the door, knock on the door, and then Bayley lets them in. And then Bayley's like, nah, and shuts the door in their face. And she goes, anyway, with those two gone, and I guess they just step around the side of the door, and they're like, I'm still here, bitch. And then Bayley's like, whoa, fine, what are you two doing? Kairi goes, well, we don't like talk shows. We like to fight. And then bang, they sucker punch Dakota and Bayley. They fall to the floor and roll outside the ring. Then start backing up the ramp as they start shouting at the two left in the ring. When behind them come Kelsey Cook and Anne-Marie Porter, who block their exit. Go turn around, get back in that ring, get your ass kicked. And they end up getting tossed back into the ring, and then Kairi and Utami beat them up. Kairi hits the insane elbow onto Bayley, and Utami throws Dakota through the door or some shit. And I guess them two and Kelsey and Anne-Marie stand tall on the premiere episode of Ding Dong Hello. We then get a backstage segment. Bobby Lashley, MVP, Ronnie Hughes, and Bronson Reed, the whole Hurt Business, are back there. And Lashley's like, he's doing weights and shit, and he's like, that's right, almighty Bobby Lashley, just 24 hours and you get that United States Championship back for the third time in your career. Warden, he's big, he's tough, he's beaten 66% of the Hurt Business, but he ain't gonna beat us all. Because look at you, you're the almighty Bobby Lashley, you can't be contained. And he's like, you know what? I think we need a little warm-up match here tonight. For all of us in the Hurt Business. So Ronnie, you're gonna team with Bobby Lashley, the almighty, in tag team action. Then Bronson Reed's like, well, what about me, mate? And he's like, well, you can go against Ronnie and Bobby Lashley, and you can find a partner with whoever you want. And Bronson Reed's like, well, what about Ricochet? And MVP goes, Ricochet? What about Ricochet? If you want a team with Ricochet, it's your funeral. But I will admit the kid put up a better fight against Warden than I thought he would. So, see this as a trial run for him as well. You, Bronson Reed, the Cyclone, the former Raw Tag Team Champions, back together one night only. Against the Hurt Business' Ronnie Hughes and the almighty Bobby Lashley. Tonight. Oh my goodness. This is a good sign for the four-way, I'll tell you that. Candice LeRae and Alba Fire do, believe it or not, manage to coexist. They defeat Shotzi and Tony in 1342. Candice, real Candice has said recently she's looking for names for that moonsault. So I'll wait till she names it in real life before I give it one. But pins the champion. The Liberty champion, Shotzi Blackheart, pinned 1-2-3 by Candice LeRae, who scores an 83 and carries the match. 78 for Tony, 74 for Shotzi, and a 71 for Alba. But yes, big win and a banger match, 85 for this. That's a hell of a preview for the four-way in tomorrow night. Speaking of tomorrow night, that will be in the United Kingdom. What's just a channel away from the United Kingdom? Francais. Now, Mademoiselles et Messieurs, je m'appelle David Marteau. Elle s'appelle Violet Marteau. And 2 weeks ago, the world got to witness La French Connection on the Bleu brand for the first time. Now, luckily, our esteemed general manager, Adam Pearce, has given us another week off to return to the greatest country in our homeland, France. But I hear that the WWA even, is heading to the UK tomorrow night. And we are effectively in the UK right now. We are in Le Francais. So if we want to clash the clash at the castle, we may do just that with some elegance of Malik Blade et Idris Inoue. We then cut backstage again. William Regal and Alba Fire, they're sort of gassed up that they won their tag match with Candice. And they knock on the DIY and Candice, the wrestling's locker room door, basically. And he goes, Kayla walks up to him and goes, guys, what's going on here? And Regal goes, glad you asked, Kayla. Alba Fire, she really needed to get momentum on her side heading into, it's her home island, United Kingdom, we're going to tomorrow night for Clash at the Castle. Oh, dearie me, that's going to spell disaster for the other three women in that match, as it is. But we wanted to make sure that Candice wasn't getting her head too far up her anus after she pinned the Liberty champion earlier on tonight, because that was Alba Fire's victory, really. And then, instead of Candice, out come DIY, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. And Johnny's like, well, look at what it is, Tommaso. He's still calling him Tommaso, even though his ring name is just Ciampa. That is a thing. Obviously, we'll still acknowledge that is his name. But that's not his ring name. Because look who it is, Tommaso. it's the two idiots that we're going to beat up tomorrow night. He's like, who are you calling idiots? And Johnny's like, you two dummies, obviously. And he goes, don't you dare call us idiots. We are grizzled young veterans, and we're going to be the next SmackDown Tag Team Champions. And then Ilja Dragunov gets in their face. He starts shouting in Russian or some shit. And Joseph Connors and Charlie Dempsey are also there. And Johnny goes, yeah, this guy thinks he's a tough guy, Tommaso. And he goes, I'll tell you what, Johnny, if he thinks he's a tough guy, how about him, pointing to Dragunov, Connors, and you, Charlie Dempsey, 6-man tag team match, you know. We'll find a partner who weekly wants to beat you guys up, and we'll take care of these three tonight, and then you two tomorrow night in Cardiff. And then he goes, well, who could you possibly have in mind for a partner? And then into frame walks AJ Styles. And he goes, we're looking up for a chance to beat up Regal's boys. I'm in. So AJ Styles, Gargano and Ciampa against the Regal Coalition's Ilja Dragunov, Joseph Connors, and Charlie Dempsey. That is our main event match for the show, because the actual main event is going to be Roman and Seth talking. So, 79. The Cyclone are back together, but unfortunately they're not victorious. Because the Hurt Business duo of Bobby Lashley and Ronnie Hughes are victorious over them. Lashley makes his own stablemate submit with the Hurt Lock in 14 minutes. 70 for Ronnie, 83 for Bobby, 95 for Ricochet, and 80 for Bronson Reed. And yeah, Lashley's the one who's facing Warden tomorrow night for the US title, so he needs the rub here. And I thought him tapping out his stablemate made for the more interesting story. Because it's easy just to go, oh, you know, you won because you beat the guy I picked, but maybe that could lead to some civil war. Who knows? We then get the Hit Row bus in the parking lot, blasting out rap music, going, hit row. And then we pan out and the Miz is walking by. He goes, he's on the phone to Maurice. He goes, yeah, babe, you know, yeah, babe. Oh, did you come today? He's like, oh, I bet it looks so sexy. He's like, why don't you send me? Hang on, I'll bring you back. And he hangs up. He goes, what is all this ruckus? And then Grayson Waller also goes, what is it, mate? Who am I going to sort out, you know? Pow, pow, you know, the old 1-2. I'll sort them out for you. Miz goes, this abomination of a truck. You know, I parked my car right behind it. I was on my way home to see my gorgeous, lovely, sexy wife, but apparently this scoundrel of a van is in my way. And for Grayson Waller, I imagine he's probably got short sleeves on anyway, but he still rolls them up like he's trying to be tough. He goes, don't worry, mate. I'll go in there. I'll give him a piece of my mind. I'll tell him you don't mess with the A-list star, the Miz and his buddy Grayson Waller. You know, pow pow. They'll listen to me. And he opens the door up. He goes, all right, mate. Cut the ruckus in. And then the door slams behind him. And then we wait about 5 seconds. And it opens again and Waller goes flying out of the door. Because Top Dollar's there and he goes, that's what you get when you mess with Hit Row. And then he slams the door again and the music gets even louder. And the Miz is just like, oh my god. And Grayson Waller's on his ass going, well, I don't know what happened there, mate. You know, he caught me by surprise, he did. 70 rated match. Naomi and Mandy Rose go 7 minutes 30 seconds. Yeah, just to give Mandy a win after the big angle she was a part of last week. So, yeah, she can pick up some momentum. 69 for Naomi and a 62 for Mandy Rose. That's fine, you know. They can both call in ring now. They've actually got enough psychology to do that. But unfortunately, what isn't nice is after the match when Toxic Attraction get in the ring and sell. Oh, the segment rating is nice, very nice, but the segment itself is not. The content, because Mandy speaks into the camera, off mic. She's like, I don't know why I wasted my time with you, Otis. You know, I'm beyond that now. You caught me at my weakest. Now I'm at my strongest. I never need an idiot fat slob like you. I've got my girls here. And obviously, because this is a Conor TEW video, it turns out Otis was watching it on the TV backstage, and it fades into that to being shown on the TV, and Kayla goes, Otis, you know, what are your thoughts on what's going on here with you and Mandy? And then we hear, we don't see anything, but we can just hear off-frame like the sound of something hitting the floor as though his head drops and he walks back off. And then we pan down to reveal that he's dropped some roses on the floor or whatever. Because he was going to give Mandy some shit because he still thinks they're boyfriend. He's her boyfriend or whatever, but she's not because this is not the same Mandy Rose. And a couple of months ago, this wasn't the same Otis, you know, but he's back to being himself now that I guess he's free of Gable's shackles. Speaking of not being yourself, Ezekiel, we cut to him and he's like struggling as Andrews, Webster and Brody King like tie him in some chair or whatever. And then Aleister Black walks up and he goes, "You know, Elias, it didn't have to be this way. You could have just owned up to it. You could have just come to me like a man and said, 'Hey, Aleister, you know, this cult isn't for me,' because I get it, you know. Despite the whole appearance and stuff, I'm not, as I say, no man is truly good, no man is ever truly evil, you know. I understand people have feelings, and if you want to just come to me and say, 'You know, Aleister, I'm not feeling this whole thing anymore,' I'd have let you go. But this is too far, you know, you shaving your beard, pretending that you lost your brother when your brother was you, and now you're here. It's come to this the hard way. Just admit that you are who you say you aren't. Just admit you are your quote-unquote brother. You are our friend. You are Elias." And he goes, I'm not Elias. I'm looking for my brother, and you've tied me up in this room." Bang! Alistair's got like a whip or something in his hand, just whips him in the chair, and he goes, "Oh, you know, telling the truth here, pal. Listen," he like kneels down, looks in his face like, shush, listen to me. "Telling the truth here now will actually be the best option, because just tell us the truth and we'll let you go. Just tell me that you are Elias." And he goes, Why would I, you'd say telling the truth is the best answer here. I'm telling the truth, but you keep hitting me with that." And he goes, "Ooh. Bad answer number 2. Whacks him again with the whip. He goes, "I've got nowhere to be." He pulls up a chair, like sits right in front of him and gets his face again. He goes, Listen. Zeke. See, look, I'm playing your game now. Listen. I've got nowhere to be. I can sit here and do this for as long as I want. And if I get bored, Brody can do it. Okay? So now, own up." And he goes, "Okay. I'm sorry. I am Elias." And he goes, "See, it was that easy, Zeke. Now look." And he like pats him on the side of the head. He goes, "I'll let you go, you know. But I'm assuming now you learned a valuable lesson here today. And that's lying is bad." And he goes, "Yeah, I'd never lie again." And then we go sort of fade to back, and we have to wonder what the fuck is going on here. Ezekiel has been tormented into... I guess he's been tormented into, you know, telling such a blasphemous lie by claiming that he is Elias. We all know he's actually lying there, but, you know, he's not going to say that to Aleister now, is he? 78. I guess that checks out for the ratings. Gulak and Lorcan pin Keith Lee. The Limit Breakers not having a good run of things as a team so far. You know, they beat Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso at SummerSlam, but since then, and Drew Gulak pins Keith Lee by some sort of shenanigans. I've just realised I put Oni and Drew to wrestle, and it should have been Gulak and Thatcher. Oopsie. Because Oni's wrestling on Velocity after this. Oh well. 83 for Keith, 77 for Braun, 76 for Oni, and 78 for Gulak. And yeah, this new trio, you know, no nonsense. Off to a winning start so far. Over 2 very established members of the SmackDown roster. Speaking of established members of the SmackDown roster, Otis, that was an awful segue. Otis, he's sad. So what does Otis do when he's sad? He goes to catering. But catering is not what it used to be. Because in there, it's just Caden and Katana just sat at a table just eating. And they go, hey Otis. And he just starts his head down, doesn't look. And then they start whispering each other, like, what are we going to do? Like, what's the matter with him? How are we going to cheer him up? And then Katana stands up like, hey Otis. And he sort of turns his head, she goes, care for a dance? And he's like, I don't want to dance with anybody. I want my peach. It's like, oh, come on, it's fun, look. We've got live musical guests. Then bang, the door for the catering flies open. And Mackie's there going, surprise, motherfucker. And then the music kicks in and she starts singing. And we get a surprise cheer for performance because, they are allowed on this show. So they're coming over. And it's the average J-Flow K-pop song. Caden and Katana are doing their raving thing. And just a sad Otis just looking around like, oh, god damn it. So not even this happy, upbeat gaggle of women can cheer him up. Backstage interview. Kayla Braxton says, ladies and gentlemen, last week we were treated to the return. First time in 6 months here on SmackDown. My guest at this time, the phenomenal, the imperishable, the unbreakable AJ Styles. And he walks in, he's sort of like fiddling with his elbow pad. And she goes, AJ, you've been away 6 months, how's it been, And he goes, Kayla, a lot of people, because of how long I've been in this game, they thought that one more 6-month injury would be enough to keep me down. Well, I proved those people wrong last week when I came back here on SmackDown, proved that I am when I say I am, and that is indestructible, that is imperishable, that is, Kayla, dare I say, phenomenal. Now, just 1 week back, I'm already, the go-to partner for DIY, And I've teamed with a lot of people throughout my career, Kayla, from here, in Japan, in Florida, all over the world. Those two guys, they're legit. And they are. And he sort of stops and Santos Escobar walks in and he goes, No, don't mind me. Continue, AJ. And AJ goes, okay. As I was saying, they are just like me. They are also phenomenal partners. And Kayla goes, well, best of luck in that 6-man tag team match tonight. And then Kayla walks off and AJ turns to Escobar and he goes, can I help you? And he goes, there's a lot of those Regal guys. I've got your back, right? And AJ goes, have we met? And he goes, hi, Santos Escobar. I don't believe we have because I was on Raw while you were on SmackDown. We may have crossed paths like once or twice 2 years ago. If Connell's mind didn't remember him right, because I believe we were both on Raw during that time. And he goes, what do you want from me? And Santos goes, he's got his sunglasses, he takes his sunglasses off, he's getting serious, he says, I see what's ahead of you, AJ. I see the situation unfolding. You're gonna need to come back to me. Because you and I, we share a bond. And he walks off, and AJ's like, do we? I mean, I guess we both got great hair, but other than that, I don't know what it is. 78 rated tag team match. Penalised because Charlie Dempsey got a slack jaw, I guess. But, yeah. And he's also the worst in the match. That's a good match for him to be a part of, though. But AJ and DIY pick up the win. AJ pins Joseph Connors with the Styles Clash in 15-17 to earn the win for the Babyfaces. 76 for Ciampa, 81 for Gargano, 83 for AJ, 80 for Connors, 83 for Dragunov, and 35 for Charlie Dempsey. But yeah, AJ's had a strange night, Talked into being the partner of DIY, had whatever that conversation was with Santos Escobar. And now he's picking up a win here over the Regal Coalition's 3 men. But now, as DIY and AJ leave, out comes Roman Reigns. And he gets in the ring. And he goes, where are we? Like, we're not in the XL Center again, I'll make up a random city. He'll say, I did Dallas, Boston, no, we went to Boston for SummerSlam. Fuck it, Chicago, Illinois. Acknowledge me. Now, let me address the big elephant in the room. I'm out here alone, the tribal chief riding solo tonight. Because, as much as I love my cousins, my Usos, my family, last week, things got a bit out of hand between Jay and Jacob. And then Jimmy sort of got all riled up, and he got the tribal chief riled up, and there's all sorts of problems going on in the family last week. I can't trust him. I can't trust him to not screw things up for me. So a clash at the castle. Jacob, Jimmy, Jay, they all stay behind. But it doesn't matter because I need only myself to prove that I'm better than Seth Rollins. See, Seth Rollins, other than back at the Royal Rumble when I had my family by my side, Seth Rollins has beat me every single time me and him have stayed faced off in this ring. But that was the old me. That wasn't the tribal chief. Seth Rollins has never beaten the tribal chief. Huh. Seth Rollins and his antics in the past are the reason the tribal chief exists. So a clash at the castle in Cardiff in front of 80,000 members of the Island of Relevancy. I'm going to turn that island into the Island of Relevancy because at that show, 24 hours from now, I'ma smash Seth Rollins and continue my historic run as the WWE Champion. Burn it down. Out comes Seth Rollins. He goes, ha 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 ha. Look at you. Look at you, Roman. You're putting on a brave face once again, you know. But the fact that you're out here alone proves that I'm once again right. So tell me, Roman, important question here. Who do you believe? Do you believe Jay? Or do you believe Jacob? Huh? Which side of your family civil war are you gonna fall on, Roman? And Roman just sort of looks at him blankly like he's thinking, and he goes, exactly. You can't answer me, because I am once again in your head. I'm living in there without rent, baby. No freaking rent for Seth freaking Rollins. Look at ya. You'd think that, you know, given the past, that you'd stop bringing family around me, Roman. How did that work out last time? Obviously he gets a twitch because he strikes a nerve. And he goes, oh, is that a touchy? Is that a nerve? As I struck a nerve? Well, guessing, Roman, that chair I took 8 years ago, when I took that chair, put it in your back of your, well, just your back. That'll feel like nothing to what I do tomorrow night in Cardiff. Because not only am I taking that chair and sticking it in your back, I'm taking that championship that you so boldly claim. You're the best champion of all time. Over 1 year of the Tribal Chief's dominance. Going up in flames. Because you can't get Seth freaking Rollins out of your freaking head. And Roman goes, it's a game to you. This, breaking up the Shield, breaking my trust, betraying, Marks and I. You're so proud of yourself, Seth. I tried many times, Seth. Me and you Since that day, we've had on and off, we teamed together again. I can't do it. I don't trust you. I hate you. Until my dying breath, Seth Rollins, I will despise everything that you stand for. After what you did to us. So in Cardiff, I see what's going on here. I see clear as day now looking into your eyes. 'Cause you came out here and accused me of putting on a show. And that deep down inside I was a scared little dog. What does that make you, Seth? All you've got is this. All you've got is WWE. That's why you take every shortcut you can to make it to the top. Coming in with the Shield. 3 guys wanting to make it to the top. Made it to the top. Then you're sold out. Then, once that had started to wear out, that's when you became, I'm going to start showcasing my real talent. I'm going to be the greatest damn wrestler in this company. That got you back to the top. And then when that worked out, you became a cult leader. And you had all these followers to help you do your bidding. And that got you to the top. And now it's this. You trying to get in my head. But let me tell you something right now, Seth Rollins. Nobody gets in my head. You did. Once 8 years ago. And you never left it. So getting in my head for you, Seth freaking Rollins, ain't the problem. It's getting you out of mine. And I'll do anything to get you out of my head. Tomorrow night. I hope you're taking all this in right now, Seth, because tomorrow night, it's gone. All of this, all of the shortcuts you took, Seth, can't save you when that bell rings. And you're locked in the ring with the tribal chief. Do or die. Nobody's on my level. I'm on God mode, Seth. So you come out here, it's like you're talking to a mirror. You come out here thinking because I'm not going to have my bloodline by my side, that I'm the one that's going to be scared. Because I can't take shortcuts out of the match. No, Seth. What you did to Cody back at SummerSlam, that was a shortcut because you couldn't handle the fact that somebody else might beat me. So you do whatever you can to make sure you get exactly what you want. And Seth, it ain't enough. You can get in as the head of as many of my family members as you want, Seth. None of them are coming to Cardiff. I am. You are. Just me and you. And we'll see who the better man is. We'll see who really has a plan B tomorrow night. Roman drops the mic and he goes to leave and he goes, Wow, Roman, to think those guys in the back used to think you didn't have what it takes to talk. Well, let me listen to you here, Roman. You've got what it takes to talk, you've got what it takes to listen to me. Huh? You think what I did 8 years ago was bad? What about what you did to me last year? You caused this. You say, I'm the reason the tribal chief exists. Look in the mirror, son. This version of Seth freaking Rollins, the danger to SmackDown. The man will stop at nothing to get that WWE Championship, not just back to him, but away from you. How'd you think that quest began, Roman? Because let me tell you, it didn't begin when the Shield broke up. It didn't begin when I was the Monday Night Messiah. No, it began at SummerSlam last year, when you took that opportunity to Superman punch me and form the bloodline over my body like that was some sort of rib, some sort of comeuppance for me tearing down your brotherhood all those years before. Do you know what island that happened on, Roman? That's right, huh? That happened in the United Kingdom, Wembley Stadium. You remember it as well as I do, like it was yesterday. Because I've barely slept since that day. And I'm the one who's really got nothing to lose. Because if I lose, I'm out of here. So, you want to end this once and for all, Roman Reigns? You want Clash at the Castle to be the final encounter between Seth Freakin' and Rollins? I say, bring it on. Because you're going to have to kill me to get me out of that ring. Because that's just plan A. And who knows, you know. Because, you know, getting into your family's head, you know, getting your family to, you know, turn on each other, lose your trust. That was plan A, Roman. And I see now that may not have worked. But don't worry. There's always a plan B. '86 rated show. Great go-home show. Big segment, you know. I basically just watched, you know, the actual segment they did between Seth and Roman in real life going into the Rumble. Try to capture a similar essence, but not the exact same lines as that one. But yeah, huge main event. Clash at the Castle, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins loses, he's gone from WWE. But we have one more show to get through before we get to Cardiff. And that is Velocity. And we've got a big championship match. Rey Mysterio defends against Oney Lorcan in the main event. Velocity kicks off with this week's 6-man tag team match. And that is not supposed to be Leslie Young. That is supposed to be a young gentleman by the name of Lester Blackburn from NXT. Because these three, Archer Wakefield, Lester Blackburn, who's supposed to be in there, and Dale Sanford, are just going to be random called up NXT guys to lose to our favourite Love Islanders, you know, Zachary Ben-Shahar, Lennox Duncan and Gregor Ferguson. Zachary Ben-Shahar pins Dale Sanford with the Champagne Super Knee Bar. 67 for Zachary, 36 for Lennox, 50 for Gregor, 47 for Dale, 60 for the man who shouldn't be in the match, and a 54 for Archer Wakefield. 50? What? This did okay. Shanty's going at 64. Okay, maybe he should start doing more in the Cruiserweight division. But Shanty defeats Ika Manjiro in a match. Shanty gets a 64 and a 38 for Ika Manjiro. Sure, why not? Another 72 rated match here. Kushida and Lindsay have a banger. Kushida wins with the Midnight Express in 12-12. 69, nice for Kushida, and a 68 for Lindsay. And yeah, another win for Kushida. I think he won last week as well, huh? Something must be cooking up there. And the main event gets an 82. Rey Mysterio aches out the win of Ronnie Lorcan. They go 19 minutes. That's where most of the time went on this show. You know, this is a very wrestling heavy show. 4 matches, no segments. That's what Velocity's supposed to be, you know. But Rey picks it up. He gets the job done. He beats Oney 19 minutes, 6 seconds, 619 to make defense number 2 of the Cruiserweight title. 80 for Oney. Actually outscoring Rey, who gets a 76. Believe it or not. But yes, that is the end of Velocity. A very quick episode of Velocity this week. Gets us a 78. That's fine. What matters more than that is what you thought of. Again, I always say this, mainly SmackDown. But both shows altogether. Do let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I'll see you next time for episode 298, Clash at the Castle in Cardiff. See you then.